to extend the height of this. Now, it can't be done through there. It has to be done right here. And I've seen people, what they do is they cut this off and add maybe more styrene sheets here. And then take this part, make a hole, put a metal rod in that, put it in this one, and glue it on. So that way you have at least 1 millimeter. I'm not going to do that because I think that will be a little too thick, thin from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it from here. There's this detail here that's great, but you know, once you put this on, that detail's gone. You can't see zip at all. So there's no reason for me to have this detail there. It's a nice detail, great, but what's the point, right? So I have this is right here. I have these styrene sheets. This is 0.5 millimeter. I'm going to put 1 millimeter. I was going to do 1.5 millimeter, but I think 1 millimeter should be fine. This is the first time I'm doing an extension height like this. I was thinking of doing, you know, a 3 millimeter extension, like here in this little leftover part. But the problem is, though, it may not be a wise idea. One, let me bring it up a bit. If I do this way, it will look okay, but you'll only have this amount holding onto this, and it's probably going to fall off. I could probably do half of that, maybe, but I think I'm still more worried about it. So I'm going to do just 1 standard millimeter. This is my first time, and hopefully maybe in the future I'll extend it out more, maybe a good 2 millimeters. But I want to make sure I do this right, based on everybody's building their versions. So this one I've already put these two together. I glued them on, I cut them up, and now I just want to glue this on, but I need to find the positioning on this. So the best thing to do is use a T. What do you call this? I forgot. It's like a T something. I forgot the name of it. So this one, I'm going to put it right in the, what's the middle here? What's the length? This is nearly, what, up to there? So we're going to put it right there in the middle on that one. Okay. I want to mark that. And then I'm just going to go like that. Okay. Now, we take this. It's a little shorter. Let's see here. So this is 10 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 16, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right there. Bingo. And using my pin vise, first I'm going to make a little hole here. Actually, I had something better. There we go. And now, should take a smaller version of this and then build it up, because that way you don't want to lose the stress. You don't want to stress out the part. Oh, but I grab that. So this is a small one right here that I'm going to use to drill a hole here. That's good. Now we make a bigger one. There we go. Now clearly this is not the same hole size as this one, but I just want to make sure we get at least some positioning here. All right, so now we got that. We need to make it bigger than that. So actually, yeah, we're gonna give me a moment here. All right, a thicker diameter drill bit should be good. Let's see if this works. It's still too small. But here we go. Still won't fit the other one because I need to cut that. So we're going to do this. See, this is where every time I look at Hobbyland Japan, there's always these little drill bits, and I always keep thinking of, oh, I don't need it, I don't need it. And now, at this very moment, you need it. And obviously, you don't have to get it from Hobbyland Japan. You can get it at any hardware store. They sell drill bits, and anywhere. Even like the very cheap, like not hobby stores, like a hardware store. If you go to their clearance aisle, you'll see like a ton of drill bits available. Okay, here we go. See, this is what I want. Now I'm going to put it right there. Perfect. So what I'm going to do, actually, it's the other way. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it with my pencil, but just for guiding purposes, you know. I'm not going to cut it yet. I'm going to just do this as something to help me out later on. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this. There is a bit of a lift here. So let me pull out a 400 grit sanding stick, a fresh one. Here it is. Actually, no. This is 800. Alright, I'll have to use this one then. I'm going to sand that down a bit so it's nice and flush. There is a bit of a lip there. You know what? Let me sand this down before I glue it on. All right, so give me a minute here. Okay, so it's now nicely flush. I removed the parts that makes up the torso, so it's easy for me to work with here to see. So I'm going to take that out. I'm going to use the extra thick cement here. There should be enough in here for this. I'm almost done with it. Here we go. Before I put that in there, I just realized something after what I just did right now. I'm just gonna have to take one of these and collect any glue that's there. And now all I need to do is put that there, push it down, and then take this off. Or pull it up. No. See right there. Good. There we go. I didn't want to leave that in there because I wanted the glue to solidify around this. I see I picked up a little bit of glue there, but that can be cleaned up. All right, there we go. Now, once it dries, I'm going to begin cutting it off, shaving it, and then sanding it down. Let me remove these because clearly we don't need them there. So it'll be a lot easier for me to work with and clean it around. Okay, working on the arms now. Clean up a few parts here. Don't know why these two don't want to collapse into each other. Maybe it's the wrong part, so I'll definitely switch that one over. Don't know what to do with this, but I think maybe a little bit of detail here in the front, because you're probably not going to see anything around this. The shoulder is the one thing that I'm kind of like more interested in. I've already sanded it down from this part, and this has this connection here that supposedly snaps into place, and that's held into there to go into the body. But there's so much, blah here all over the place. I didn't know what to do with this. At one point, I was actually thinking of maybe cutting this off here, there, and then cutting there off. But the problem is, though, the actual connections will not adhere. It's not going to be strong enough to hold up these two when you push them in. They're going to collapse inside. If I cut them off, obviously you want to glue them on or do something with it, but that's not going to be the case. So that idea is out of the table. I did cut some parts here, like some styrene sheets to fit here, and maybe to put something there. The two sides of the two things that I'm worried about, I don't know yet, but I found two things that we could use. First off, we have the MS Plates 01 that I always love to use. We can probably get away with putting something here. This is at the end of this. I don't want to put nothing on it heavy or whatever, because it's going to interfere and block the placement of the shield. So to extend it out may cause it to be more difficult to position the shield. It is too tightly packed in there. So either a vent or something like this. I think this one's a lot easier to use here on the shield. I don't think this one would be a good idea for that. We have this one, that's actually good, but I think I'd like this one better. But what do we put on top of this? Well, one of these will be good, but I've been thinking about using this, and I said, this is a good time for me to use it. So this is 30 munitions option part armor for base attack, Rybot's exclusive dark brown. the part that I'm thinking of using is this one right here. And to put it right there. But for that to work right there, I'm thinking of cutting that off, and then the peg. Okay, this one just came up right now. Now I could probably drill a hole in there and that will hold it into place, but I think that's going to be a waste of time and effort and plastics. So I don't want to damage my good nippers, so we're going to use this one. And sorry, I'm looking for my saw. Let me put it someplace. I have all these parts here. Where are my blades? Oh, here it is. This is temporarily speaking. So yeah, put that right there as part of the detail. But these two need to go. Let me get my saw to cut this off. And then I'm gonna, actually, you know what, probably be a good idea to put it on the plate that I just made. But it's gonna be a little wide. Oh no, if I do it this way, that'll be good. Okay, good plan right there. Let me cut this up and see how it looks.